live at the Royal Atlantis, the Royal in Wow Summit, Dubai. Today I have a special guest with me, Gurvinder from Digital Twin Labs. Gurvinder, how are you?
Very good, Adel. Thank you for inviting me to the discussion over here. It's good to meet you.
Fantastic. It's great that you told me you came from the US and this has been an exploratory visit for you here in Dubai. So how has been the visit so far?
Awesome. I was invited to give the keynote talk at the WOW conference. And I also gave a talk at another blockchain conference, which was happening in parallel the last couple of days. It is discovery in the sense that I haven't been down to Dubai for business per se. It's really my first business trip. Been here socially, family, vacation, those kind of things. Trying to understand a little bit more about what's going on in the Dubai market.
That's great. And you know, it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to grow and explore. So you're doing the right things. I'd like to know more about how is the U.S. landscape in terms of networking? Because you've been here now for a couple of days. You spoke at another conference. Are the vibes? Do you get entrepreneurial vibes there more than here? And is it easier to network there here? What are your thoughts on that?
Very interesting question, very intriguing question. There's always a risk in trying to make comparisons because I don't know where to start and where to end. But I'll be kind of just brief with those, just to give you some understanding of my perspective. Again, I will say I still have a blind spot in knowing the Dubai market very well. But at least from this visit and then prior impressions and reading about it and people that I know and more that I'm getting to know, there's a very bold innovation agenda. There's a very bold agenda to experiment with things and bring it to the market. Some of those experiments actually sitting from the US, I have peripherally been attached to. So even though it is on the ground, my first official kind of a visit and being in the conference over here, I've kept up reasonably from a technology angle on the things that have been happening over here. For example, I think the government was backing a lot of innovation at the airport for the airport, check-in, immigration, those kind of processes, and try to make it pretty much like hands-free, touchless for passport control and those kind of things. So I know they've experimented with blockchain. I don't know where it stands with that particular program, but I know it was a large program that I was peripherally attached to. So from that perspective, there's a lot going on over here. US, you asked me the question on comparisons, without getting specifically into comparison, is of course a land of massive innovation. And sometimes we feel US is falling behind, sometimes we feel okay, it's caught up, and sometimes it's getting ahead. And that to me are only momentary and coming and going and ins and outs of the ebbs and flows of regular business. But the level of innovation and the brain power and the capital, even though the government may not be engaged into it, just from the private sector and the investor sector, is just phenomenal, right? Everybody knows those numbers. And at one point, I will quote you this data. At one point, let's say about 7 years ago, it was projected that China is going to be the supermarket, the superpower for AI by 2025. And what happened in the US with ChatGPT coming out, we've seen how there's been a leapfrog effect to the progression of AI and large language models, and that is an innovation that has come out from US. I'm sure there are other countries and other technologies innovations that are behind it. And the other example is we'd almost given up on the automotive industry of the United States until all of a sudden this company called Tesla and the man behind it and the team behind it have come up and leapfrogged the innovation of the incumbency within the US and brought electric vehicles, autonomous driving to kind of where it is. And now a bunch of other companies are trying to catch up with AI, So I don't think it's a zero-sum game around the comparisons. I think innovation comes uninvited and unannounced from anywhere, from any country and any person. And the beauty about technology, regulations and border rules aside, is it is a very seamless community, and it is very transportable.
I couldn't agree more. I think those comparisons are very well said, and it's a different population, different geographic location as well. But I think right off the back of that, now we're in a blockchain summit. We're here. We're talking blockchain, crypto, and virtual assets. Digital Twin Labs. Talk us a little bit about Digital Twin Labs and what it is doing for clients.
We look at the term digital twin has been around for a few decades, and it really sources from the manufacturing industry, like aviation, also automotive. When you're building these really expensive products, engineering intensive products, you want to create a digital twin of that product, because once you put it into physical, it's hard to do changes. In software, it's easier to do changes. My background is in computer science, by the way. So the idea of a digital twin has been therefore in manufacturing for a long time. At Digital Twin Labs, our notion of the phenomenon of digital twin is much broader than that. It is not limited to just manufacturing. It goes into supply chains because there is physical goods over there. It goes into shipping and logistics and sensory input through IoTs of smart shipping and smart containers. Even the United Nations has put together technical standards of smart technical specs of smart containers. So wherever even a physical person doing nothing creates a digital footprint. I'm sitting here, even if we stop talking, my body is generating a digital footprint. It's generating data with my heartbeat, my blood circulation, this and it can be captured. So there is this larger aspect. We need the physical flows of the world. And those physical flows are not just in manufacturing, they're all over. We need the digital flows, the information flows, but the additional scope that we go after is we go after the financial bloodline of these ecosystems. And what we are not doing in the traditional notion of digital twins, we are looking at the physical, we are looking at the digital, we are looking at it in very niche markets, and it has not scaled, and the cost of doing digital twinning has not come down in other markets. It's there in manufacturing, which are expensive propositions. And we haven't taken it up vertically into the financial flows, which is the bloodline of any sector. So when you have shipping going on, for example, or supply chains, money has to trade hands between all those parties, the trucker, the shipper, the supplier, the manufacturer, and then of course the banks. And this is an area in supply chain which is called trade finance. And trade finance is almost like its own separate pocket, and banks have their own separate desk called the trade finance desk. And then the supply chain guys are logistics and shipping companies, and they really don't talk to each other unless they have to move documents to and fro to get money moved. So part of the melding that blockchain and these technologies provide is to bring those flows and the logic which triggers the events and the payments, bring them sort of together
more seamlessly. Yeah. Very good. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us today. That was a great explanation. So thank you, and we'll hope to see you again. I hope to come to Dubai again.
What a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you. This is Web3 TV, and we'll see you next time.